What's up, guys? Welcome back for another video. This is going to be episode 3 on the whole VHR swap 350Z. So today in this episode, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to go ahead and be installing the ZSpeed CMAK delete. So I'll kind of give you guys a walkthrough of everything it comes with. So here's the bracket that go ahead and bolts the fork down. Here's the throwout bearing. Here is the slave cylinder with the bracket that they provide. And then over here we have another bracket for where the throwout bearing goes. Actually got grease on it. And then a little dust shield, hardware, and your stainless steel clutch line. So first things first, I'm going to go ahead and set you guys up on a time lapse. I already kind of looked over the directions on how to do this, so I'm going to kind of just remove everything first, and then I'll go ahead and update you guys on what I removed, and so on and so forth. So hope you guys are going to enjoy. Alright guys, so I actually went to the store because as I was reading the directions, they call for Loctite. So I went ahead and picked that up and got some juice. And yeah, alright, so let's get into it. As you guys saw, I went ahead and removed this plate. I guess this is for the internal slave, the way that it mounts. So as you can see here, let me get the light on. I have the ZSpeed one all mocked up. I just got to go ahead and put some Loctite on these bolts over here and then get them in. So let me set you guys up, and then I'll move on to the next step, which is going to be removing the bolts here. I believe it's 5 of them. Once you remove those 5, that's what goes ahead and mounts the actual bracket for the fork. So you'll see that in the time lapse as well. So as you can see here, we went ahead and got the bracket installed, and this is pretty much how it's operating now, just like a DE would essentially, because if you don't know, 03 to 06 transmissions have the slave cylinder on the outside, whereas 07 and up all come with the slave on the inside. So this kit actually helps it relocate to the outside, which makes life easier in case it ever goes bad. So yeah, so the next thing I'm going to do, probably grease this up, go ahead and mock up the slave, get all these bolts tight, and then that's it. Done. Alright guys, so everything is tightened down, torqued to spec, we got everything moving freely. We went ahead over here on this side and put the dust shield on that they provide as well. And then here's the bracket for the slave. I did take the slave off because in the instructions, the way that it works is you use this one bolt to bolt this bracket. But then as you can see right back here, that is also going to take a starter bolt. So once the starter gets lined up, we're going to go ahead and run the starter bolt through here, tighten that up, and then we'll go ahead and mount the slave, get it onto the fork, and we should be good to go. Alright guys, welcome back for another clip. So it's official, we got the CMAK on the tranny, as you saw in the previous clips. Shout out to Truly. And we're gonna go ahead now and mate the tranny to the motor, get everything bolted up, and then drop it into the car. So it's an exciting day because that's gonna look fire. It's gonna be a big first step in actually getting the whole car swapped. So let's see how it goes. Guys, well, there you saw it. Tranny is on. I'm gonna go ahead and put all the bolts on and get this bitch in the car. I'll probably have to bleep that out, but yeet! Nice. Alright guys, well, as you saw in the time lapse, we got the VHR finally in the Z. It lined up great. The mounts worked great. Shout out to Z1 because they worked great. I just used my stock DE mounts and everything went straight. The same DE cross member, so everything, you know, went great. My fuel thing worked perfectly. Power steering worked perfectly. Super hyped. I don't know if you guys can hear it in my voice, but like everything legit worked great. It went in super smooth. Here's the clearance in the back with the VVL solenoid. So as you can see, you really didn't need to cut it, but it would have been so tight and it would have just been so uncomfortable to work on this thing from the back. Pause. But yeah, we got enough clearance there to where we can go ahead and ever get back there if we need to. Super awesome. We got the drive shaft just mocked up for now. I don't know if you guys see it here, but it's not bolted to the diff, but it fits perfectly, lines up great. Yeah, man, super excited. This is a huge step in getting this car, you know, done. And yeah, I mean, shit, I'm super happy, super excited. Shout out to Miguel for helping me, and yeah, we got it in. All right, guys, so we are not in my garage. As you can see, we are at my boy Chris's house. I'm sure you guys have seen this on the channel or on Instagram, but he's really good with cleaning injectors, so I brought him the injectors from the Z, so he's gonna go ahead and take care of me. I gotta go to work, but I told him to keep the GoPro, maybe set up a time lapse so you guys can see the process of getting them cleaned. Alright guys, so as you can see, I got my injectors back from Chris. Shout out to him for getting those all cleaned up for me. And I got the plenum off. So now I'm just going to go ahead, take off the fuel rail, go ahead and get that all taken off, take off the stock injectors, put my injectors in, get the fuel rail bolted down, and then I'll check back in with you, and then we could probably go ahead and bolt down the plenum. Guys, sorry if the light is kind of bright. So as you can see, we got the injectors all installed, all with their little pigtail harness, and yeah, so I'm gonna go slap them on the car, get it all bolted down, and then finally done on the fuel side for everything. And yeah, we got some clean injectors. Alright guys, so as you saw in the last clip, I went ahead and put the injectors on. I actually got the harness in the mail and went ahead and put that on. Didn't really record it just because I was trying to figure it out myself and not look stupid. So the harness is completely on. Here we have the VVL module, which connects to the ECU, and then we got some wires here that are for the VVL and for the fuel pump and the starter, which my boy Sean is actually on his way to my house to go ahead and help me with that. But we have everything pretty much all set so that we're ready to start it up. We got the belt on, we got the tranny fluid in, we got oil in, we got the intakes on. So once we get the wiring all done, we should be able to try and start it. Alrighty guys, well, we got everything pretty much kind of figured out where wires need to go, wires need to get plugged into, harnesses, relays, etc, etc. We got my man Sean out here, the GOAT. If you guys saw in our last track video, he has the red EG coupe. Lending a hand today because he's definitely way better at this stuff than me and Miguel or Alejandro are, and definitely killing it. So we'll update you guys once we get everything wired in. Had to go get a couple fuses, a couple relays, and once we get those in, we'll update. All right guys, so we got everything all wired up. I know it looks a little crazy, but it's all legit. Definitely way out of my experience. I can't do that kind of stuff, man. I don't have the patience, nor do I know what I'm doing when it comes to that. So big shout out to Sean. And so yeah. All right, quiet on the set. Quiet. All right guys, so hopefully it starts. I'm gonna go get in there, turn the key, and pray.